Come on, man. Like 41-17. Like I almost didn't even like it's not even funny, but I almost did not do this video. Like that was just a hard game to sit through, man. But I still wanted to just like talk about it real quick, really just to vent. I guess that's kind of what this channel in general is. It's just like me venting about the good times and then also the bad times, even though there's really not that many bad times like in the Lamar Jackson era. But man, 41-17, man, like I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, man. Like this is one of those games, like I forgot how they say it. I think some people say not wet the bed, but I guess drop a turd. Like this is one of those like drop a turd kind of games, man. Like everybody, like this was I don't even know where to start. Like I don't even know where to start. Actually, I know where to start. I'm starting with defense, man. Like this is ridiculous, man. Joe Burrow is the third quarterback, and the Ravens have only played 7 games, mind you. Joe Burrow is the third quarterback this season to throw for 400 yards against the Ravens. No disrespect to Joe Burrow, he's a good quarterback. Congratulations to the Bengals. They played a good game, but like, dog, this defense is bad, man. This defense is mediocre, which really sucks because I was fully expecting them to walk in this year and be like a top 5 defense. Top 10 defense at the worst, and we're literally out here playing like a bottom 10 defense, like, and obviously there's injuries and stuff, but even with the injuries, I still thought we could still be, like a top 10 type of team, man. Like, like this is crazy, man. Like 3 out of the 7 games that there's been a quarterback this year to throw for 400 yards against the Ravens, that's 42%. So so far, 42% of the time, there's a quarterback lighting us up, and this is a big issue that needs to be looked into immediately. Not just the way some of the players are playing, but also, you might need to call out Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale needs to start being on the hot seat. Come on, man. Like 41 points. They had 41 points. I'm really thinking about that. 41 points. You can never compare this Ravens defense or the Ravens defense of the past several years. You can never compare them to that 2000s Ravens defense. It's just, you literally just can't. Not just because obviously the rules have changed, so defenses can't get away with what they got away with back in like the 2000s or the early 2000s, but still, man, like I can't even imagine the 400 passing yards. 400 passing yards, man. I'm really sitting here thinking about that. 400 passing yards. They had 400 passing yards and then another 100 rushing yards. And we had more time of possession. We had 31 minutes and 49 seconds. They had 28 minutes and 11 seconds. And still, like, man, look, man. This, how many? I don't even, man. I feel so discombobulated right now, man. This is like 4 minutes into this video. I'm not even gonna edit out any mistakes I make in this video. I'm just going straight through, cause I need to just get this. I need to release this pent up frustration off of me, because I wasn't even gonna do this video. I was so disappointed, because again, it's not just a loss, man. That was just an embarrassing way to go out, man. I can't believe it. And then this is why it's hard to look at the box score for games, because if you didn't actually sit through the game, the box score could be so weird, because when you look at the box score, right, we had more first downs than them, we had more plays than them, we had longer time of possession than them, we had no turnovers and they had 1 turnover. Like, they weren't too good on third down, and neither were we. They were 1 for 2 on fourth down. We were 1 for 4 on fourth down, so they were better than us on fourth down. But I mean, the big difference, the big difference the big difference to me is the Bengals defensive line. Like they're clearly they're legit. I think it's pretty solidified now. They're legit. Lamar had no time the whole game, and I know some people are trying to. Some people are saying that some of this is on Lamar because he held the ball for too long. I mean, that's fair. That's fair, but at the same time, you have to look at the full picture of this, man. Lamar was, like many other games this season, Lamar's been under a lot of pressure from defensive lines, man. Lamar got sacked 5 times this game. Joe Burrow only got touched once. Lamar got sacked 5 times this year. There was so many throws, so many moments where he was constantly under pressure. Like their defensive line was just giving all kinds of problems, and our offensive line got exposed again. It's just like I don't even, man. Like I'm really sitting here thinking about that game. There was just weird decisions being made in that game. One weird decision I want to just get on real quick. It's not. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal because we lost by over 20, so it wouldn't make that big of a difference. But there was 2 moments where we didn't kick a field goal, and I don't understand why. Maybe one of you guys could comment and give me a better understanding, because when I sat there when that happened, I couldn't make sense of it. I was just like, why? Like there was one moment, it was in like I think it was in like the second quarter. I'm pretty sure it was in the second quarter. We were on Cincinnati's 40-yard line. Mind you, we have Justin Tucker, like easily the best field goal kicker in the league. We're on their 40-yard line. That's only at worst, like I think, what is that, like a 56-yard field goal or something like that? And you didn't let Justin Tucker kick it? And Justin Tucker is literally the best field goal kicker in the league. Like this is a guy who, again, just a few weeks ago hit a 66-yarder to win a game. I don't understand that. And at that time, that would have put us up like what, 6-3? That would have put us up by 3 points at that time. And then there was another punt. Was it I think it was the third quarter. Hold on. Wait. Yeah, it was the third quarter. So there was another punt that didn't make sense to me because this punt was on the 41-yard line, Cincinnati's 41-yard line. So again, basically the exact same situation. You're on their 40-yard line. You have the best field goal kicker in the NFL who just a few weeks ago hit a 66-yarder, and you don't want to put him in there to get a 57-yarder. I don't care if it was 80. I don't care if it was 25 miles per hour wind. Like there's no situation that I wouldn't put Justin Tucker in there and at least take the shot. Because by the time this punt happened, by the time this second punt I'm talking about happened, the score was 20-17. Like that could have been a field goal to tie the game back up. So I don't understand why they wouldn't take that. I don't like that. It doesn't make the slightest bit of sense, man. So that's 6 points that was left on the table that had they took those 6 points or at least went for it, which I believe Justin Tucker could have got it. Like that would have put us in a position where we would have been up 23-20. Like I somebody pointed out something that I thought was interesting. They said the Ravens don't respect the Bengals, or at least previously they didn't respect them, and maybe they didn't, because some of these decisions, I'm like, why would you make some of these decisions aren't making sense. The execution just doesn't seem like it was making sense, man. And this was another game where we got off to a slow start. And this is a big issue that keeps popping back up. We keep getting off to these slow starts, and then we keep having to depend on Lamar Jackson to come back and just play like a superhuman in order to pull out a victory. because we've been in this situations multiple times this season where we get off to a slow start, plus the defense can't tackle, and they're just letting teams run and pass all over them, and next thing you know, we gotta fight and claw to try to have a chance. And going into the third quarter, we had a chance, and then the game just completely got out of hand, man. Like Marlon Humphrey just got completely embarrassed, man. And I still believe in Marlon Humphrey. I'm not somebody who's thinking that we should trade him. He's still a good cornerback, but he's still a good cornerback. But at the same time, man, like that's embarrassing, man. Like this rookie, I don't care how good Jamar Chase is, and I understand Jamar Chase is probably one of the best rookie receivers we've seen in years, which sounds crazy because considering how good Justin Jefferson played last year, that sounds crazy to say. But at the pace that Jamar Chase is on right now, he's gonna have a better rookie year than Justin Jefferson. So I'm not downplaying how good how good that guy is. He's great. I'm congratulations to them. Congratulations to the Bengals as a whole. But at the same time, like Marlon Humphrey is supposed to be one of the better cornerbacks in the league. You can't get embarrassed by a rookie like that, man. Like, come on, man. 200 yards, 8 catches, 200 yards. He averaged like 25 yards a catch. And that one touchdown specifically that everybody keeps replaying, like that is just another example of the tackling problem that this team has had all season. Like, and again, I'm trying to figure out, like, what exactly are they gonna do to fix this, man? Because again, they've had a tackling problem all year. Like they've had a tackling problem all year. And that 82-yard Jamar Chase touchdown was like the perfect example. Because again, it's like there was 3 people back there, 3 people surrounding this kid, and because everybody was just not in the right position and didn't execute as well as they should have, he just spun his way right out of that and just took off. And I wouldn't be mad about that if this was a one-time thing, but this has happened over and over again, man. We're 7 games into the season. At this point, we have to just say, look, we have a bad defense. It's not terrible, obviously. I'm not saying our defense is like as bad as the way the Chiefs are looking right now, but we have a subpar defense, which really sucks. And because many people like myself was predicting us to have an elite defense going into this year, and it's not looking that way. We have some bright spots, obviously, like certain players, but overall, like there's so many games this year where we're getting just embarrassed and exposed, man. It's looking crazy. Like Lamar had an okay game. It was like the box score makes it look worse than it was. It wasn't his best game. He was 15 for 31, 257 yards and a touchdown and 0 interceptions. Like, so it wasn't a terrible game, but again, it was just a shaky game. And a big part of the reason the game was so shaky was because, again, Lamar's not getting enough. He's not getting good protection. Like the offensive line they keep having these games where they keep getting exposed. And like now it makes you gotta wonder, maybe this has something to do with why Lamar Jackson is not rushing to sign that extension. Because again, if I'm him, that's the main thing I'm thinking about right now. It's like, hey, do I really want to sign to you guys right this second, and you guys still have not invested money on offense like that? Like, man, 41-17, man. 41-17, man. That's just, man, 41, man. So, but I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how I've been talking for like 15 minutes about this. I don't even know. I just, like, 41-17, like 41, man. Like the receiver, I mean, as far as our receivers go, they had an okay game. Rashad Bateman, he had a couple big plays that I thought was he had that one 35. I think it was like a 35 or 40-yard catch he had. I thought that was really impressive. Like, so he caught 3 out of his 6 targets, which, I mean, I'll say that's okay again because he's a rookie. 3 out of 6. I mean, 3 out of 6 is bad though, but it's just ideally, if this is a guy who we anticipate to eventually become the number one guy, you want him to. But now I think about it, I can't even remember those other 3 he didn't catch, so it might not be 100% his fault. So scratch that. I can't remember right now because, like, it's been a couple days since the game happened, but still not a couple days. It feels like a couple days, but it's been like one day. But Marquise Brown, he had an okay day, but I mean, he was targeted 14 times and he only caught 5 of them, man. Like, obviously one of those catches was that amazing touchdown catch, but yeah, that's still not a good look. That 14, yeah, like, our passing game, it looked okay. That's all you can really say for it, is it looked okay. It didn't look terrible. Again, I don't the box scores can be tricky because it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't good enough, especially when we have a defense that is out here handing teams 40-point games, 41 points, and you have receivers getting 200 yards by themselves on us. Joe Burrow is the third. I'm gonna keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. Joe Burrow is the third quarterback to have 400 yards on us in 7 games. He's the third quarterback. That 42% of the time so far this year, we have allowed 400-yard quarterbacks. And then it wasn't even just Jamar Chase who had a good game. CJ Uzama had 3 catches for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that 1 touchdown that he had on Marlon Humphrey. Like what's that? And I don't want to put too much on Marlon Humphrey because he's despite the bad moments he's been having this season, he still is as far as our healthy available players that we have right now, he is again the best corner we have, and they are asking him to do a lot. But man, like, there's just a lot of embarrassing moments for him, whether it's the Broncos game where he tried to punch the ball and he got the running back or whatever carried him like 20 yards on his back, or this game as a whole, like, or the Raiders game where he got beat for that. But either way, man, it's not looking too great. Like, he had a couple good moments against Chase. Like, there was that one play where I thought he had where it looked like he had punched the ball out and fumbled him, and he did have that one interception on Chase towards the end of the game when it was still a 10-point game. I did not like how the team was celebrating after that pick, because again, it's like, look, it's a 10-point game, and there's no guarantee that you're gonna be able to finish the situation. There's no guarantee. You gotta go out there and finish, and they did not finish, because what was once a 10-point game, in the blink of an eye, it turned into a 24-point blowout. Like, it was just crazy. Like, I don't even know how I've been talking like for like 20 minutes now about this, like, because sitting through that game, I was literally just speechless. I couldn't. This is so embarrassing, man. Something has to happen before the trade deadline. Something with either with the offensive line, or with to go find a couple of defensive players who can tackle better. But I'd rather them focus on the offensive line. I'd rather them much focus on that. They spent so much money. That's part of the reason people like me are so hard on the defense. People think that, oh, I never call out Lamar or the other players. Nah, like, I'm constantly harder on the defense because the Ravens put way more money into the defense. With the amount of money they spend on defensive players, yeah, these guys, even with injuries, these guys should play better than they play. But again, this is just and then our running game wasn't good. Outside of Lamar, he had 88 yards, but everybody, the other running backs combined, had like 20 something yards, man. Like, the Bengals are legit. Again, As frustrating as it is, you got to tip your hats to them. They're 5-2 and we're 5-2, and as of right now, they're leading in the AFC North. I don't think it's gonna stay that way to end the season, but at the moment, look, they're leading the AFC North. I don't like some of these Bengal fans that are talking crazy as if their team hasn't sucked for like a decade, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Again, this is the first time they've ever beaten Lamar Jackson. So to them, they're probably extremely excited, and that's fair. That is fair. But I think that's it, man. I felt so. I mean, even in this video, I feel like when I just talking about it, I felt all over the place. But I felt like this game just had me all over the place, just having to sit through what I sat through yesterday. Like just 41-17. Like, man, and of course, there's these analysts who they've been just waiting for a moment like this where again Lamar had, well, not just Lamar, the Ravens have a bad loss, to where now you have clowns for hire like Stephen A. Smith out here talking about he would take Joe Burrow over Lamar. And again, if you prefer Joe Burrow, that's your prerogative. But again, the logic he uses is the reason why people don't respect his opinion. Because you claim that your issue with Lamar is, oh, playoffs this, playoffs that. But again, Joe Burrow has done nothing yet. He's having a good season, yes. But again, this is a guy who missed most of his rookie season because he got injured. Even though he was having a good rookie year, it doesn't matter. He got injured. And now in his second year, he is off to a great start, but he hasn't accomplished anything yet. And you tried to disrespect Lamar and say that, oh, Joe Burrow's on another level than Lamar, when Joe Burrow has not accomplished a fraction of what Lamar has accomplished. And Joe Burrow still has better weapons to throw to, and he still has not yet accomplished a fraction of what Lamar has accomplished so far, and he never will accomplish a fraction of what Lamar has accomplished already. Main reason being is part of Lamar's accomplishments is the fact that he's done all of this at a really young age. Joe Burrow's older than Lamar Jackson. But nonetheless, man, you got to congratulate the Bengals. This is really bad. It was a good win for them. Bad loss for us, obviously. Man, I really didn't see this coming. I really thought after that Chargers game that our defense was really gonna finally get into the swing of things and really, start clamping down on everybody and, playing how we expect them to play, considering how much money is invested on defense. But maybe this could be a good thing though. That's one thing I'm trying to tell myself to stay positive, is maybe this could be a good thing, because again, this happens to teams all the time, man. Like the Packers started this year off with a, what was it, like a 38-5 loss to the Saints. And then who else? And then last year, the Buccaneers, who actually won the Super Bowl, didn't they have like a 38-3 loss to the Saints or something like that? So again, this does happen sometimes. Again, just because a team gets blown out doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Still something to be concerned about, because there's certain themes that are starting to repeat themselves now, but it's not the end of the world, man. So I'm still optimistic. I still think this team can win 13 or more games this year. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I know I'm not the only one who's mad right now. I can't be, man. I know somebody else. I know there's other people who are mad about this. So again, if you have anything you want to vent about, let me, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what do you think? How do you think we'll perform after the bye week? Do you think that after the bye week we're gonna come back and just be on a rampage, or do you think it's gonna be a little shaky? Like, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and make sure you guys like and subscribe.